All right, YouTube, it's me, Russ, and today gonna change the element in the Samsung dryer here. This is a stackable, all right? So there's a repair video and a review of the Samsung stackables. So part of the problem with this is my wife's not a basketball player, and when she does the laundry, and even when I do the laundry, like this thing is way up here. And so that's part of the problem. That, and this is the second time I've had to replace the element. Replacing the element again. But I'm going to replace it here where it sits. And subscribe, please, to the channel. And hit the like button if this video helps you in your life. The reason I say subscribe, it's like, you're helping me fix the dryer. Would I ever want to watch this channel again? Yes, you would. Because, listen, I'm fun, all right? And you need more fun in your life. This isn't fun. There's more fun stuff going on the Shaw Family Videos channel than you can even imagine. For example, yes, I have a chicken in my living room. Right here. We have a chicken in the living room, a Japanese silkie, and you're going to want to know why that is, right? So, I'll solve the dissonance that I just stirred in your mind if you hit the subscribe button. Coming on a future episode. I've got it stacked, and I'm going to see if I can change the element without taking it down, because it's a huge pain to take this off the top of the washer, because it's hooked to the vent, in the dryer vent, and let's see if I can save a little time by not unstacking the stackable while I change the element in it here. Also, good idea to unplug the dryer. We're going to be working on it. So yes, first of all, around back here, there's 2 screws, maybe 4 screws at the top that need to be pulled out on each corner. Right up there, and there's one left on that side there. And I recommend that if you're clumsy or a moron, you don't do this part, right? But step ladder, all right? I'm going to climb up there. I'm going to ease that top piece back, and then we're going to take off this panel. So with a little bit of force and maybe a little pry bar, scooting it back, got the top piece off. All right. Scoot it back like that. And here we are. Alright, so next, straight slot screwdriver up here on the ladder, and we're going to pop out these tabs here. Some of your models may have 3 screws across the top. This one doesn't. It has these handy dandy little tabs which you can pop out. As you've seen, I've done this before. Samsung make pretty good phones. I'm not sure about appliances. This is the second time I had to do this job. I did it once last year, so it's like, Samsung. Thanks, Samsung, for making a quality product. But yeah, and then this puppy comes out, but I need my other hand, so must put phone down. Prying it up a little bit here, and it all comes out like that. Plastic bracket, check. I guess it could pop out here, but yeah. Anyway, the next thing we're going to do. All right, next thing we have to do is the pigtail. Can you see? Yeah. So right here we have the wires that come out, and you just press here. Can you see? You press it. You press it right there. Comes right out. And then this puppy comes off. All right, so next, this one, that one, these screws on top, and then all the screws around this area. We're gonna pull this thing off. So yes, any screws holding the thing in. Not those, that's just the latch. But yeah, all them screws need to come out. Time to get to work. Oh, don't do that. To avoid stripping, apply pressure, right? And thank God I got that out of there. All right, now. Okay, and apparently this needs to come off too. So be careful not to drop it. There's that one. One hand pushing. And yes. Oh boy. Why yes, I still do have stuff in my dryer. So, but that's okay because we're going under the thing here. All right, we got another wire attached and another pigtail that needs to be released in the back here. So, all right, so right here, you squeeze the sides and kind of pull it back. So, yeah, right here, I'm gonna need two hands, so I'm gonna have to put the phone down. And it's that simple. This puppy comes out. All right, and here's another reason why I don't recommend Samsung dryer. That's a fire hazard, man. Like, I don't know. This thing is supposed to be catching all of the dust and remnants, but this is what happens. It just gets massive sand and dust is working out in there. And you know, I have a Samsung washing machine. Like, I thought all this stuff was supposed to come out in the wash, but no. So I got my shop vac and and it's just a good idea to make sure we don't have a fire. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove these two screws, this screw and the two screws behind it, which are a little hard to get to, but that's why we have the stubby Phillips screwdriver right there. So it was fairly difficult to get some leverage, so what I did was I put my stubby on vice grips in order to get back there and crack the screws loose. So a little tip for you. Got the last screw out of there, and we're going to remove this puppy here. And this is the element. Now, the trick is to put all the wires on the new element in the right place. So here's how I'm doing this. Number one, I'm going to wrap it around the wires, and that's how I'm going to mark it. 1, 2, 3. Towards the back, this keeps the wires in place, so I know which one goes to what. The number being right side up means top, okay? Like so, see? Alright, so owning a Samsung dryer, got another element in the mail. Sad face. Almost caught my house on fire. And, I don't know, I guess you have to clean this thing out every 6 months? I don't know. But, yeah, so, sad face. We're gonna get the new element out of the bag. And here we are. Pulling this out. And yeah, dirty. And I'm going to pull these screws and replace just the elements because that's the part I bought. Also, yeah, these are going to have to come out at least on one side. Yep. Thermostats. Hopefully they're okay. Okay, so I ended up buying the element itself because last time I bought the whole housing, which is a thing you can do, is just replace the whole housing, but that's going to be, it's going to cost you about twice as much. So I was willing to bet that my thermostats are okay because they were replaced last year, and it's the element that went bad. Because that's what everybody says. The elements on these go out quite a bit. So what I found is taking this apart and then flatten out the tops of these. So these had little bendable things in them that keep it in place in here. So I flattened them out with a pair of pliers so that this comes out like that. And then we need to pull the screws out, at least on one side, like that. Like that. All right, so right here, once you get all the screws apart, you have this little thing operates more like a hinge. All right, so hinge right there, and here's the element. The bad odds are element comes right out. So inspecting the element, found the break right there. See that? That's the old element, and that's where things went sideways once again. In the old Samsung dryer. And it looks like it's going to be a good idea to clean off the mess on your thermostat, sensors, and the such. At least that one. Checking over the new element, it's a good idea to make sure that it didn't get jostled during shipping. You want to make sure that the element there is not touching any metal, all right? Because if it does, it'll short out and you're going to have big problems. So let's make sure that the metal isn't touching anywhere, all right? Make sure all of your ceramic insulators aren't cracked or broken. It's just a good thing to make sure before you go through the work of installing this puppy. Okay, so you just kind of set it in place here. Go back here a little bit. There we go. And that's after it's set in place. You put this one on the bottom. Not that it matters. It's just creating a circuit. So we're just going to put this on the bottom. And you see these tabs right here. We're going to flatten those out. I'm using my wire crimper tool to kind of pinch those and yeah, so they don't slip out. So yes, right here, just giving it a squeeze, and we have that part installed. So being careful to make sure it's not touching there, all right, or anywhere else. All right, so now we're going to put it back together and close the lid. And we're going to do this side first. And just, again, it's kind of self-explanatory. Line up the holes, put each screw in, not screwed down all the way until you get to the end. So you just get them threaded and then put each one in and then tighten them all down towards the end. Okay, so this can be kind of a challenge. And I've got a tip for you. So you can see the side where the screw goes, and the other side I used this little screwdriver to guide it. So you put the screwdriver through all 3 holes, and then you can line up your screw on that side. Just like that. See that? And then I can put the screw there. All right, now we're ready to put the element back in, and yeah, I did that. The cheap sheet metal, unpolished sheet metal. I ended up cutting myself open a little bit there. Good thing I had my tetanus shot. So we're gonna put it back in the way we pulled it out initially. And so remember, 1, 2, 3. So we're gonna go 3, 2, 1 as we put this together. So I'm gonna kind of install these just the way they were. And remember to be careful with these. And remember to pull the tape off. Okay, so once you got all your wires lined up, I went ahead and just push on that. Got this out of the way, because that was annoying. And then this puppy goes underneath it, like this. And you're gonna want to line it up towards the back there. And it has to screw in to this thing, but you gotta get this thing under there and do it in this order. Yeah, like that. All right, and here's a helpful hint for you. This, screw this down, right? You don't want to leave it way up here so you strip out your screws. I'm going to dial this puppy down to about a 6. Because the last thing you want to do is strip anything out. So we're just going to kind of line it up. Like that. This one here. Actually, I screwed it in a little too tight. That's okay. I'll deal with that later. And then we're going to do this one in the back. 2 in the back, depending what your model is. Alright, the goal is to get it lined up with that screw there. And to do that, you're using a flashlight. You have to line it up with a hole in the back where the vent goes outward. So you line it up and then kind of finagle it in there, and you should get to where you can put that screw right in there. Finagle it back in there and line that puppy up. And don't forget to put that thing back together like that. Alright, and putting the door back on, you just line these up, see that? With the holes. Easy. And then don't forget your pigtail. Your pigtail here goes with the switch on the top. And then of course it's time to get the step ladder, install the screws here, and put the plate back on. And putting the door back on, which I really didn't have to take off, but so it's got a screw on the other side that hangs it on there for you, which is great. It just made things a little bit easier. Goes in there, goes back on pretty nice. Good engineering, at least on that part. Alright, so you have these little guides that go right here and line up just like that, which make things easy to put in. So yes, while you're lined up there, you can safely put your pigtails back together. Alright, so yeah, pop these back in, make sure they're popped back together. And alright, so this pupper goes like that. You see how it lines up with the holes, and hopefully you can figure out how that goes in there. Something like that. And then we'll put this thing on like that. Screw it all back together in the back. Alright, maybe it's not so much Samsung's fault. This thing could be clogged. So I'm gonna check it. Right there. Would be a nice thing to do before you put your dryer back, is clean out your vent. And yeah, so these collapse up like a slinky, which is really nice. You can see where this part goes down to the basement, and then yeah, so that's the lint air vent. And yes, we clean out the trap. There it is. It opens up nicely, and yeah, it's pretty easy. And mission accomplished. Dryer's working. Toasty warm in there. Things are back in there. Right order. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment if you have any questions. Please hit the subscribe button if you don't want to miss another one of these videos. And you want to know why there's a chicken in my living room. Hit the bell icon and not to miss another video. Thanks for watching. Later.